Now, my thank yous. John Ashton for agreeing to be MC. Just a hero, fabulous poet, and wonderful man. I can't thank him enough. My feature readers. Ian McBride, I would have to say, is right up there with our best poets, possibly the best, in my opinion. And Yvette Stubbs, running right along behind him. Oh, that's really nice. Komninos. What can I say about Komninos? He's a fabulous poet. He's a real voice for Australia. He's a real voice.
I first met Komninos. We were doing a reading in at La Mama. It was my first reading. I don't know, he seemed to be very experienced. He was wild. He was kind of like wild, almost uncontainable, and fully self-expressed. He obviously didn't know that poetry was supposed to be delivered seriously. Just, so thumbed his nose at that convention.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So fully self-expressed, wild, mad, bad, and dangerous to know. Mr. Komninos Zervos.
Well, I'm going to read one of mine first, called I Am the Alley. And it has been an inspiration for one of Kerry's poems, which I'll read after this one. I am the alley, the laneway, the back street. I am the outside of the street. I am the stinky, smelly, grotty, greasy alley. I am the garbage bags arranged, ravaged by the birds and rats. I am the grey, greasy water that seeps out under back fences onto bluestone and bitumen. I am the inside air on the outside night. I am the roaring gutter seas. I am the cardboard boxes stacked and piled into mountains. I am the lettuce leaves that rot in them. I am the rain that melts them. I am the delivery vans that squash them and spread them further down the street. I'm the cigarette butts that swim in the gutters and litter the lane. I am the milk crates that stack up against the back fences. I am the hemorrhoids on the waiters' bums. I am the wheelie bins that wait in a new... Sorry, I'm finding it very difficult to read in this light.
It's really hard.
And
This place is hard.
You just wait until you get Kerry's book.
I believe it's a very small font size. So I'm gonna diss this and just read something I remember and something from the past. The other day I was at a slam at the VCA, a student slam, and people were reading stuff off their phone and they were saying, this is new shit, because it's on the phone, which implies that anything on paper is sort of old shit. And anything in a book is really old shit. So I'll just read this one. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superwog. Strange visitor from a European country with powers and abilities far beyond those of normal Anglo-Saxons, who can gut and fillet mighty man-eaters, pick up hot dim sims in his bare hands, faster than a squirt of vinegar, more powerful than tzatziki, able to use the lifts in tall buildings, and who, disguised as Con Pappas, mild-mannered fishmonger at a great metropolitan shopping centre, fights a never-ending battle against McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the American takeaway.
Come in.
Now let's have a crack at this one. Perhaps if I turn this way. Ah, yeah, much better. Ah, shit, yeah, much better. No, it's all right. I'll just imagine the audience is
Over there.
over here.
It's a magic shot. It's a magic shot.
What's this here? This here here? This here here? It don't here. No, that's not the poem. So this is my poem that I was going to read. Through lack of light, I didn't. Was about my love of alleys and I always seem to end up in alleys. And this is something that inspired Kerry to write this poem called Alley Meets Sydney Road. What are you doing, here? Asked Alley of Sydney Road. You don't look the type to be out late at night trawling for bush tucker, lily pillies, or the hanging branch of a blood plum tree. You don't look like you're seeking some cul-de-sac to sleep in. What you're doing here, said Alley to Sydney Road when he saw her face peek in. Sydney Road answered in loud drunken voice, my high heels and short skirt are not a device for attracting men or encouraging vice. It's the quick road home and I thought I'd take it. And fuck you if you think I can't make it. So, did Alley grant safe passage to Sydney Road that night? Or did he just seduce her in to snatch her from the light?
Thanks, Komninos. Just a couple of other things come to mind too. Komninos has this terrific poem called Footscray. In fact, there are probably other poems about Footscray, but I've never heard them. And so I reckon the Western Bulldogs should be on your case. Yeah. To write a new poem for the doggies. Yeah, all right. No enthusiasm whatsoever. Right, we're going to go for a short break.
We've got Lish, now my Lish, my star. Was in big
Known for many years, and we communicate quite a bit on Facebook, and she asked me to read one of her poems, and I keep on saying, yeah, read it, I'll get back to you, yeah, I'll read it, I'll get it, and I still haven't done it. And so I'm making sort of, a public demonstration that I haven't got back. Lish, I'm sorry. But I will do so, yes. And has always been a great supporter of mine, and has emceed a show about 10 years ago, which I was in. And I know her book, Breath, is one of the great poetry books of Australia. So ladies and gentlemen, and Lish, I just want to say, in the absence of Judith Rodriguez, please read 2 of your poems as well as one of Kerry's. And also, there seems to be a theme running through today, is that we're all saying, it actually pretty much didn't start with Ian, but Komninos kind of blew the lid off it. Basically, we are all plagiarising Kerry Scuffins' poetry. Isn't it amazing?
We're trying to.
Oh no, we just take, it's like we take a poem, I think, I reckon I can take your poem, I think I can make it better, Kerry. Actually, no, I won't advise Kerry, I'll just take the poem. Oh, you see, it's just like, see, nobody's brought their solicitors along today, have they? No, that's right.
Thank God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, a warm welcome to Lish.
Before I read, I'd just like to say that Kerry has been my mentor and one of my closest and dearest friends in my life. And she's been there through some of the hardest and happiest times I've experienced, and it's been so much more than poetry. She really is a sister. So to start with, I will read the poem from my book Breath that I wrote for Kerry, and it's called Bird Eye Woman. Sister, you know me like a past life. Sail my way up at the crow's nest with a watchful eye. I climb the mast to meet you. We hold stars in our hands, ride the rough seas together. Sister, you teach me the language of wanderers, the majesty of vagabonds and pirates. Share with me the key to your treasure box of dreams with clover and horses, a flower that will never age in your eyes. Bright fish, music, birds of the sky. This book has made me laugh and cry and exult and clutch my chest. It took my breath away and brought it back. You know, it's just exquisite. And even in that sadness, there's wonder and beauty and Kerry's soul that speaks to you and takes you on a journey that just you don't forget. And for some reason, this particular poem stuck in my head. And it's not necessarily the most fancy, but it's powerful. And it says it instead of telling, and I like that. And this is called My Husband Loves Me. My husband loves me. He gives me 500 kisses a night. He cuddles and hugs me. He fixes the washing machine, the dryer, the fridge, the car for me. He gives me 500 words of love for every hour of silence. He says I am perfect and beautiful. He would kill to save me. He would kill himself to save me. My husband loves me. He calls me bitch and liar. He hates me going to read my poems. He hates all of my friends except Shelton. He strangles me when I'm pregnant. He drowns me in silence. He pounds me with loud roaring. Hides from me under the blankets. Runs from me behind his newspaper. Tells me I'm not so smart. Drives the car too fast, bangs the door and kickstarts my heart. Peels the skin of restraint from the black grapes of violence. Rips the new-healed tolerance from the raw wounds of anger. Could kill me just trying to save me. My husband loves me. He gives me 500 kisses a night. And so on, and so forth.
Okay.
Well, I'll just do something from my head because otherwise I've got to pick one. So I'll do the screen. Is that okay?
No. This is no.
Oh, well, you don't count, Paul. Sometimes. Sometimes I prefer the screen. Cold lack of intimacy. Keyboards equidistance for the difficult task of peeling back the core. I can pretend it is someone else probing the ether. Sometimes I prefer the screen, separating cortex from lymphatic, another dimension to sit in, to pluck and bend the shape of dreams.
I just want to thank all you people for coming. I'm looking around here and I see every single face here of people I love. I love you all and thank you for coming.
Thank you.